Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Arce is here as well. That means we got a special guest in the building.
That's right. The lightweight, everybody's scared to fight, if you ask me.
From Newark, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, Shakur Stevenson. Welcome, brother.
What's good?
Fix his mic, Charlamagne, so it's close to the pause.
No, you good. He's got a cool.
All right, there we go. How you feeling?
Shit, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You fighting against William Zepeda on July 12th, right?
Yeah.
That's a mandatory, right?
Yes, he actually the intern champ, so
Okay.
he got the little belt below my weight class, so I'm gonna beat him up though.
All right.
Beat him up
He said a little belt.
And he said the little belt.
Little belt.
What do you think of him? His skills, all that good stuff?
Nah, he's actually a really tough fighter. He's gonna come and put the pressure,
Mhm.
and he's gonna come to fight. So it ain't gonna be a boring fight. It's gonna be an entertaining fight, and I'm just ready to put on a show.
I want to know why everybody afraid to fight you. I don't know if it's afraid or what, right? But I saw Rolly recently say that you are overrated because he said he feel like you got a weak resume. To me, I don't think your resume is your fault because it's not like you aren't calling out these guys. It's not like you don't want to fight the best.
Yeah, actually, I'm the guy that really try to fight everybody. Like, my last fight, I tried to fight the Kid Austin guy, and he ended up sick and caught the flu. And I tried to fight Frank Martin, he pulled out. So I can't really take what Rolly said serious. Rolly been knocked out before. So,
And you can't like
he a clown. He a clown. So
somebody like that can't call somebody like what's a weak resume? If you won titles in different divisions and he's a former unified champion.
Besides Tank, what's his resume?
Yeah, and he got knocked out.
Truthfully, and he got knocked out.
So who would you want to fight? Who would you love to fight that you feel like you just can't get it done? You want to fight Tank?
I don't want to keep saying that. I done said it.
You want to fight Tank?
Dog, but I think that's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing.
Nice.
She a big Tank fan.
You know she from Baltimore.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Look. That sound good. That sound real good, but he's too little.
Too little.
I promise you he's too little. And you going to be surprised that night. Matter of fact, you probably thought Lamont was going to get knocked out, too.
She did.
I did.
Exactly.
I did, but not the grease. The grease with the braid and
yeah. That shit was funny as hell.
Did the fight with Roques change how you looked at Tank in any way?
I knew how the fight was gonna go. I bet money and won money that night. I knew exactly how that fight was gonna go. I had Lamont Roach come to my training camp for sparring, and when he pulled up for sparring, I kind of knew like what type of fighter he was, and I kind of imaged in my brain how the fight was gonna go with him and Tank. And I swear it kind of went exactly like I said.
Wow.
Who do you feel won the fight?
I thought Lamont won. Facts. We could sit here and front on the grease.
No, I'm not gonna front. No, I ain't
Even
saying
without
it.
the
Nah,
grease thing with the little knee, I thought Lamont won.
Lamont definitely surprised me.
So
for
even
sure.
though they didn't call the knee a knockdown, you still felt Lamont won more rounds.
Yes, I thought it was at least 7-5 Lamont.
How you think the new one gonna go? The one coming up with
I hope
Tank
he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So, it's going to look like somebody else already did it.
Nah, he's right. It's going that fight stock is going to go a little down. But I heard Tank might be fighting Jake Paul. There's still rumors about that
Yeah,
again.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, that's it.
What do you think about that fight if that happens? You think he takes it out of real fighting to this is comical now?
You know, it's a business, so he probably just trying to go get a bag. So, I don't knock nobody for trying to make a bag, but I think he do got to fight me before he retire.
I don't think. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because does Tank have a great resume when you look at it like that?
I think his resume is solid. I think it's just kind of downplayed just because he kind of weight drained a lot of people. So he ain't really fight guys at his best. And when he kind of fought the people that was comfortable at the weight class, he kind of struggled, like Pitbull and Lamont Roach. So, yeah.
I mean, and because he, so accepted by our community, the hip hop culture, he became very popular because he knocks people out. But when you think about it, I think the stigma is the guys, the big names, the Shakurs, the Ciofimos, the Devin. He hasn't fought those guys, and that's in the back of everybody's mind.
Why don't those fights happen?
I think it's a lot of politics.
You got to move the mic a little closer.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of politics, though. I think it's a lot of people, getting in the way of certain fights, and it's also fighters too. Like Tank got to be the person that says, "I want to fight this guy," and when he says he want to fight somebody, he's gonna make it happen. So it's on him.
Did you really just split with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn?
Nah, I'm just like, you gotta realize what my situation is, whatever I want. So if I want Eddie to be involved, Eddie gonna be involved, and if I don't want him involved, he's not gonna be involved. But I actually like Eddie Hearn. I've been telling people for the longest, I think he's one of the best promoters in the sport of boxing. So
What do you think about the new Saudi sheik that's really been taking over boxing and investing a lot of money into boxing?
I like it. It's kind of like a gift and a curse, because I feel like he want to make the biggest and best fights happen, but also he got to know like what fighters is the best fighters. Like he got to understand the sport of boxing a little bit more too. So I like it, but still it's like I want him to like do a little bit more homework and understand like who is the best fighters, and if you want the best versus the best, make the best versus the best, not really the.
Can you talk about the little, I guess not disagreement, but miscommunication you had with him, because you fought in Saudi against Padley. You said you had the biggest bag of your life over there, and you made easy work of Padley. And you had a 2-fight deal with Matchroom, and then for the Zepeda fight, you put out on social media, they promised me a certain amount of money, and now they backtracking on that. But then you put out a tweet saying, we got it together. We figured it out. So explain that whole situation.
I mean, I can't really tell all the details. All I'm going to say is, like, in business, you going to go back and forth. Like, a guy feels he's worth this, and somebody say, oh, no, you worth this. So at the end of the day, I'm a guy, I stand on principle. I stand on integrity. We got it together. So shout out to Jay Prince. He came in and helped the situation out.
Because I spoke to Eddie Hearn yesterday, and I asked him the same thing, and he was like, well, the original deal was for Shakur to fight in Saudi, and when you fight in Saudi, there's a premium. You get a little bit more.
Yeah,
but since this fight is supposedly going to be in Central Park, I don't know if it's true, that's the rumors, that's why it was a little less. Is that something like that?
Yeah, it's something according to that was what I heard. But like I said, I don't try to speak too much.
Yeah, I feel you.
What do you think about
these? They was giving you a little backlash, though, because they said you apologized just to get a higher payday. Did he say that? Did the Turk be like, all right, man, you better apologize for that, and if not, I'm going to keep you back.
At the end of the day, it was kind of a miscommunication.
Okay.
And I kind of reacted quick instead of thinking about what I was doing. So with the miscommunication, I kind of, that's why I just had to, be a man and do what I had to do type shit.
And you said something else that makes a lot of sense. Who is talking to the Turk about boxing?
That's what I be saying. I feel as though, like, I ain't going to say the people around him, but I do think that a lot of people need to do their homework enough to understand what's what. And once they understand it, just like with this card, they got me the co-main event under Edgar. And, Edgar my homie. I ain't going to say nothing bad about him, but I'm the biggest star on the card. Yeah. I'm the guy that's, like, people want to see. I'm in the biggest fight. I got the best resume. Like, I ain't even gonna say resume because they try to trash it, but I'm the most accomplished too. So, just to put me on like his undercard, it really don't make no sense.
I didn't even look at the card. I just assumed that was the main event.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know he was on the undercard.
Yeah, but I heard that it's kind of like what's happening in Times Square. They like all main events.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like kind of co-main or main.
But like even if they was main event, take me out that card. What do you think that card does? Like, nobody really going to pay attention to it. They paying attention to it because it's me.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only multi-division champion, so I hear you. I hear your argument. But as far as Turkey, I'll touch on that too. He's a real fight fan, right? He loves the sport, and he's obviously poured so much money into it. So he wants to get it right. He'll take, Eddie Hearn knows the sport and other people. So he's trying to make it better. But when you come into something new like that, you might make mistakes here and there. But I think he's put so much air into the sport, like so much life into it, that, these fighters are happy.
He is making the best fights, to me, over the last couple of years.
Yeah. He tried to make the best fights, but it's still, I like the biggest and best fights. I want to fight Tank.
Now, I was going to ask, what's your opinion on the way that these fights, like a Times Square fight and Central Park fight, and how does that affect the boxer? Because it could be too humid out there. So how do you like those type of fights where it's just off brand of where it usually is? Or
I don't care where I fight at. We can fight anywhere, truthfully. But I
think you got lint on your face. I don't want to have you.
No, you
right
good.
Here, right here. under your neck.
Behind
right, right there. You almost got it.
Right
They
there.
looking at that
you
man
got
so
it.
hard.
He got the lid on his face.
Crazy.
So
Don't
why
want
you
to be
looking
on
at this
camera
man
with
so
okay.
hard?
You got it.
You want to tell me if I
He a
have some
good
in my
dude.
face, man.
I'm just saying the same thing.
But nah, I think that the Central Park and the Town Square, I think that's cool. Like, I think, people performed in Central Park before, so it's gonna be a big event, and I'm all for it.
Have you ever had a conversation with Turkey or UJ Prince about Tank, and like, has he ever said that I'm gonna make Tank an offer to fight you?
Nah, he's definitely want the Tank fight.
Okay.
He want the Tank. Like I said, it's all up to Tank, so he gotta just come on board and let's make a big ass bag. Let's do it.
When you talk about fighting outside, do you think there's like an underappreciated mental side to boxing that fans and commentators don't understand or talk about?
Yes. I think like a lot of people don't know shit about boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember it was a quote where Roger Mayweather said, "Most people don't know shit about boxing." That's a fact. But it brings eyes to the sport. You got the YouTubers now in the sport of boxing. You got a lot of people that's paying attention to it. So I appreciate the viewers, but I do think people need to do a little bit more homework.
I think it's a sweet science. I mean, I think even with you, you know what I mean? Like I've seen people, somebody called you who was it recently that called him the best defensive fighter ever? Was it Sean Porter? I don't remember.
A lot of people have been
A lot of
saying
people
that.
say that. So it's like a sweet science to what you do. Like it may not be knockouts all the time, but you're a fantastic boxer.
Yeah, and some nights I may come out there and put on a amazing performance and put on an offensive display like I did with Jamel Herring. So it just depends on what happens that night or what I'm feeling that night at the end of the day.
You think you can hurt Tank if y'all fight?
Yes.
Mm.
I mean, you gotta realize Lamont had no disrespect to Lamont either. He had 10 knockouts. I got 11. So we ain't too far off, and he was kind of hurting him too. So if he could hurt him, I know I could hurt him too.
What about you and Lamont was here last time? We was all here, and I asked him about you. If I guess if the Tank fight doesn't happen,
Perfect.
we was talking about if he wins. He said, "Yeah, Shakur's on my list next."
Perfect. I think that me and him been talking about this for years. So like, I already like Lamont, my boy. I'm real cool with him, but we could really squabble at the end of the day. So if it come down to it, and Tank say he don't want to fight him again, I'll go fight Lamont next.
Let's talk about your bro, Keyshawn Davis. Right, like obviously he on fire right now. He about to fight De Los Santos, a common opponent that you fought, and people are really trying to put y'all against each other. Not only in a fight, but just like, oh, I think he gonna beat De Los Santos better than Shakur did. Do you worry about that at all?
Nah, because at the end of the day, I want him to. Like, at the end of the day, you got to realize, when I met Keyshawn was like 13 years old, little bad kid from the gutter, and it's like, I kind of like grabbed him up, like, this is my brother. We make him better and shit. So it's like now, to see him evolve and to see him become world champion, that's something good for me. Like, if he go out there and crush De Los Santos, that's good for me. That make me feel good about just myself too.
Are you taking him under the wing and all that?
Yeah, it's like my brother. So at the end of the day, I'm not.
Most fighters are throwing
tripping.
shots at that. They're like, man, ain't no friends or brothers in this business. I don't know why Shakur is saying he'll never fight Keyshawn and vice versa.
But if you have somebody that you really close with, you gotta get in the ring and you gotta kill mentality. He gotta kill mentality. It's like, what you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that shit. So
yeah, I feel you.
I'll fight. Tell any fighters that got something to say about it.
Fight
I'll
them.
fight them. Fight me. How about that?
How difficult is it to not take boxing personal? Because y'all all going in there and beating up on each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's very difficult. You gotta still understand it's a business and a sport. At the end of the day, that's where I kind of used to go wrong. I used to always take it personal, and I used to feel like, cause it's my life at the end of the day. So now I'm just at a point where it's like, I understand it's a business. I understand it's a sport. Just how you said Tank going to fight Jake Paul, that makes sense. Like, I get why you would go fight Jake Paul, but just don't retire without fighting me. Is how I feel.
He want that smoke so bad.
The Tank Jake Paul thing is cool if it's a real fight. I mean, I really mean that. I don't know how real these fights are.
Well, Jake Paul fights are real. I'm gonna speak on his behalf because I've, done business
Y'all
with
seen
him.
fake fights before?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they fake, but I think people might hold back a little bit.
Who you
He's
think?
talking about like the Tyson fight.
Oh,
That's a real fight.
I don't know if Tyson
Nah,
held back.
that's a
but
real fight.
If put it like this, if Tank don't knock out Jake Paul within 30 to 45 seconds, it ain't real to me.
Whoa.
No.
Why do you feel that way?
Nah,
though?
Jake is big, bro. Jake is big.
Hell
Tank
yeah,
is little. Jake Paul is like 200 plus on the regular.
I still think I still personally believe Tank should knock him out. Remember when Mayweather fought Logan Paul?
You thought he should have knocked?
No, I didn't think he should knock Logan out, but he
Okay.
made Logan look silly. So Tank, with his power, should be able to clean up Jake
But Jake
Paul
is
quick.
way better than his brother Logan. That's the start
Facts.
off. Way
Y'all
better
Y'all don't think
fighter.
Tank can knock out Jake Paul?
I mean,
No.
it can happen, but I don't know.
God
I
damn.
don't.
I just don't know how that fight makes sense because he's so much heavier than him. So I don't know how they gonna make
But
that
we
work.
thought about that with the Mayweather Logan. But I was telling everybody, y'all think Logan just gonna come in there and knock Mayweather out? No, like Mayweather's the greatest defensive fighter of all time, and he's a boxer.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Yeah,
gonna
but
make
we
him look
talking
silly.
I
about
didn't think
power.
that.
Like, I get the power is real. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, that's a man that's like almost 100 pounds bigger than him. So I don't see it. I don't see no knockout.
So with that said, one of your mentors is also Bud,
Facts.
and he's going up a lot of weights to fight Canelo.
But it ain't 100 pounds.
What is it, like 50? It's like 50, right?
No,
Nah, hell
no.
nah.
He going right now. He at 154, so it's just 2 weight classes.
Oh, they fighting
up.
at 168?
168,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think you started that whole thing right here when you said, "Would you fight him?" You asked Canelo. You asked Canelo. If Bud comes up to 168, would you fight him?
But, no,
and now it's about to happen.
Canelo said, I'll only do it if he come to 168.
Yep.
Man, I've been saying that for years, though. I've been saying for years I think Bud to beat Canelo. I think Bud just got the style that outbox Canelo. I seen Canelo get outboxed several times, so I think Bud is the guy.
What did you think
I
when
don't bet
everybody
against
thought Bud
Bud
was
no
going to
more.
lose? When he fought, and everybody thought he was going to lose, and he came in pairs. Charlamagne thought he was going to lose. He came inside.
Not everybody.
But I've been saying that for years because I've always been an Earl Spence fan, but goddamn.
Actually, I had bet a lot of money that night too. I made so much money that night. I was in Kent with Bud. Like I seen how he was training. I seen how he was feeling, and he just had a chip on his shoulder. And watching him with that chip on his shoulder, it kind of like motivated me. It was like a very motivational situation. So
You
knew
you
it.
close with Terrence Crawford, right?
yeah, that's my brother.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He was like, "You better treat my brother right when he come up there." Yeah, did you hear what Mase said though?
Who?
Mase.
Mase, what he say?
Mase, he had this to say. He said, "I don't want to see Shakur fight. I'm gonna be honest. No disrespect to Newark, but I don't want to see Shakur fight nobody. For him to be hanging out with Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward, there's absolutely no way that he's fighting the way he's fighting."
You know, like I said with the other people, like I can't really take some of these guys too serious because it's like they make a living off of trolling people. Like trolling is what they do on a regular basis. So even before when I kind of reacted to them, I don't feel the same way now. Now it's like, okay, I understand the business aspect of it. So kudos to him. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep making money. I'm gonna keep being the best, and none of these niggas could beat me. Facts.
You know what's crazy though? They're not saying anything about you that they didn't say about somebody like a Floyd though.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
because people do not, for whatever reason, people don't respect defensive fighters.
Even Ward. She mentioned Ward. They said the same thing about Dre.
Yeah. I think it's a stigma on black fighters who
Don't get beat up. Don't get hit.
Outbox people, but like a Limachenko or a Buffal can go
He the best.
outbox the same people, and you don't never hear no boring things on them. So I just
That's
hear
true.
it, but it is what it is.
Does that get into your head when you're in the ring though? Like, cause you know you got your style. Does it make you feel like y'all want to be a little bit more aggressive? I do want to try to get a knockout just to shut people up.
Yeah, it kind of did, and that's where I be going wrong because I always realize my knockouts come from not trying. Like I don't expect it when I knock people out, but with that like in mind, it's like you gotta tame yourself. You gotta calm down, relax, and not look for the knockout. When you look for it, it kind of gets sloppy and it gets a little ugly. So me knowing that now, I just go in there not looking for it, and if it comes, it comes.
You know, you're a big lightweight in my opinion, like 135. So you
Think
obviously,
big?
I don't think you small. I've seen lightweights that I think you could be at 140 and still be a fair size in that division. So obviously, if the Tank fight doesn't happen, there's so many fights at 140. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'll move up for the big fight.
For the big fights.
If
Okay.
it's like a little fight that don't make sense, like I'm really not a 40-pounder. Like on some
Really?
No, I'm not a 40-pounder. I'm barely even a 35.
You don't think you'll end your career at least at 147 or something?
I used to think that, but nah. I
Nah.
don't think so. I mean, I will go there for the right fights. Like I just watch Conor Ben. I like Conor Ben too.
Yeah.
No disrespect
He
to him.
tough.
But I will fight him at like 154.
What?
I told you for the right fight.
154?
I swear I will fight him.
Kind of tough, man. He throws hard punches.
Like I said, for the right fights, I'll move up.
Is it hard to get up to that kind of weight?
I mean, you'll have to like, I guess, train a little harder as far as weight wise and put on a little bit more weight. But I think skills pay the bills. Like, I feel like with my skills, I can fight a lot of guys at the higher weight class.
Will that slow you down defensively, though?
Nah, my defense is always there. Like I said, I spar with Bud on the regular. Like, I spar with big guys regularly, so it ain't going to slow nothing down.
It was Sean Porter who said he feels
I sparred
like...
him for my last camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that maybe that's where he got that from. Because he said I've never seen a fighter with the kind of defense that Shakur Stevenson has, and he says he feels like your defense is even greater than Mayweather.
Shout out to Sean Porter, man. That's my guy. Actually, when he pulled up.
I'm sorry, I'm about to put this.
She about to be a parent on your ass. You gotta get smell the ass. You see it?
Hey, shout out to my youngest back here too. This Zaquin Moses and Emmanuel Chance, young fighters.
They're your new
up.
boxers, right? They're your boxers.
Yeah,
You manage them.
My little cousin and they're my little brother too. So, young fighters coming up. They professional too. So.
Yeah, they can fight.
But how did you feel when Sean said that about you?
I appreciate it because Sean actually been in there firsthand. So he went to the ring and sparred me. So he seen what I can do. And when he got out the ring, he kind of knew, like, okay, he's the guy. So I appreciate Sean. Actually, I feel like if Sean wanted to come back right now, he could come back for the right fight.
Wow.
Yeah, he kind of surprised me. He did 6 rounds with me, so I respect him.
Did you study Mayweather?
Yes.
Okay.
I studied everything about Floyd from head to toe. Yes.
When he heard that, or if he heard it, did he hit you up like, all right, now, you don't think you better than me? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Man, you know Floyd so well.
Yeah.
Nah, Floyd ain't hit me up and say nothing like that. Floyd is actually a cool dude for me, personally. Like, when I hear the stories about him, I don't really take into it because he kind of one-on-one with me, he cool, but...
he would say something like that, though.
Yeah, he's definitely like an ultra competitor.
Come
like,
spar with me right now. Let me show you. I'm
I would
still
love
the
to
best.
spar with Floyd.
Never sparred with him at all?
I would love to, but like the thing is, like even when I watch, cause I know he probably a little hesitant about sparring the young fighters now, because with Devin's situation, they kind of put out there that they beat him up and all of that. I'm not that type of dude. Like if I sparred Floyd, nobody would know how I went. It would be just me learning.
Lesson, right?
Like I wouldn't even go in there to try to like Floyd older now, so I wasn't going there to try to get off on Floyd. I'm going in there to learn. Like okay, let me watch his reaction. Let me see how his speed is at this age. What little tricks he got going, and I'll probably take them tricks and use them in the ring for myself. So that's just the type of dude I am, though.
Is there a fighter that you kind of fought and really got off on him, but you actually personally like him, and you're like, damn, I wish it didn't have to be him. I wish it didn't have to like beat him up like that.
Jamel Herring. Everybody thought I was beefed out with him because we was kind of going back and forth before the fight, but.
Man, you killed him.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I really like him. Like as an individual, he's like a super cool individual.
Yeah.
He always like looking out for me before that. So I appreciate Jamel.
You think he like you and you beat his ass like that?
Nah, he actually does though. We actually
Even
cool.
after?
So, after we cool.
Nice.
What's something you learned outside the ring that's helped you the most inside the ring?
Something I learned outside the ring that helped me the most. The smartest man will win, and that's in any situation. When it comes to business, anything, the smartest man is always gonna win. And I think, as far as boxing, being able to outsmart my opponents is kind of what took me over the edge with everybody.
Let's talk Ryan Garcia. A lot of people saying he's so the controversy aside with the Devin thing, right, with the PED thing, we saw him beat Devin bad, and he was at a weight where he was comfortable, 142. Yeah. So how does a Tank and Ryan fight play out if it was at 140 or a weight that Ryan was more comfortable in?
I think it'll be a very different fight. I think Tank is like, he's a good fighter, but like the Ryan Garcia that he fought that night wasn't the same Ryan Garcia that Devin Haney fought. And Ryan was feeling good. And you actually seen when he fought Tank, he didn't have no respect for Tank. Like he wasn't scared of Tank at all. It just was the fact that he wasn't able to take the punches that was coming back at him. So I think it'll be a very different fight.
So you beat William on July 12th. Let's just say you beat William on July 12th. Tank beats Roach, but then Tank goes to fight Jake Paul. Tank don't want a Shakur Stevenson fight. What does Shakur Stevenson do for his legacy and his resume then?
I just keep working, fight the next best available opponents, and stay focused. At the end of the day, the movement doesn't revolve around him. So whatever he got going on, he got going on. If he says he don't want to fight me, he retires without fighting me, that's cool. That's on his legacy. he got to live with that. But truthfully, for me, I fight the next available opponents. I fight Lamont Roach. I fight maybe running back with an Edwin De Los Santos or something. So honestly, I just just stay focused, and I think my time gonna come.
Would you be disappointed if you don't ever get that fight?
I would just be disappointed in the fact that the way he was talking, like the way he on my list, and like the way he kind of put out threats in a way like somebody's supposed to be scared of that shit. It would be disappointing that we don't get to clash in the ring, but if he go do that, fuck him.
Who's the next best star? Like, is it a Ryan or Ciofalo? Like, where it would be still a big money fight?
I would fight all of them guys. I've been saying I want to fight Tio for the longest, so Tio will be the perfect fight for me. But I think like boxing will forever evolve, so it's never going to just stop with one person.
Guy. Yeah.
So it may be a young superstar coming up. I like the Emiliano Vargas. I see superstar potential with him. Right. Maybe one day in the sport, me and him could lock in and get a big fight going. So I just got to stay focused and stay on my game.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of them fighters say Shakur is overrated. I don't want to hear them fighters say Shakur can't knock nobody out if you're not going to get in the ring with him.
Facts.
That's how I feel.
That's a great point.
Don't say none of that if you're not going to get in the ring with him.
You can't beat him.
Word.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us this morning, brother.
Yeah, appreciate y'all too.
And have a successful camp, because I know you're about to hit camp, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Shakur Stevenson. Let's go.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.